Hey y'all, JS Creations Art Sanity here, and today I'm going to make some coasters using the silicone molds and leftover paint from my previous acrylic pour. Now if you haven't seen that video, I will leave it linked in here and it'll be listed in the description below. I'll also have all of my supplies listed in the description as well. So I've never done this before. I've never used my leftover paints in my silicone molds. So I was kind of excited to see how this was going to turn out. So I'm using the little bit of paint that's still left in my split cup here. And all I'm doing is just kind of doing like a little ring pour, making a little puddle in the middle of the mold, and then moving the mold around to cover the bottom. I'm just trying to keep it on the bottom. I don't want it on the sides. And in hindsight, I should have used just a little bit more paint than what I did. You don't need very much, but as the paint was drying, it kind of contracted, and so you'll see in a couple of them, I have a couple of spots that, it kind of pulled away from the mold because there wasn't enough paint. So like I said, I just wanted to get the bottoms of these molds covered. Now I did get some up on the side, and I just used a little Q-tip to clean that off. And then my heat gun here, I'm just using a little bit of heat to get any bubbles that were in there. So you can see here my paint is dry. I don't know, it's been about 2 or 3 weeks. Now it didn't take that long, of course, for it to dry. That's just when I got back to it. And you saw there that, I had a little bit, a couple of holes in a couple of these where the paint kind of pulled away as it was drying. So now all I'm doing is coming in with some resin here that I have tinted with some black alcohol ink, and just filling up these molds. And then I will come in here with my heat gun to get any bubbles. I will cover these and leave them set for about 24 hours before coming back to demold them. Now, as I demold these, I noticed that there was like a, kind of like a film. You'll see here. So I don't know how to explain it. It was like some type of film on these. So I don't know if there was something in my mold before, I poured the paint in. There, you can kind of see that. And it's like kind of slimy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain that. So all I do, I cleaned them off really good with some alcohol, with 91% isopropyl alcohol. I wiped them really, really good, and it still was just kind of, I don't know, just kind of grungy, I guess. And so I decided to, I gave them 2 coats of clear gloss spray. So now I've got my backs taped up, and now I'm going to give these a top coat of resin. So after my 2 coats of clear gloss spray, of course you want to let that completely dry before you do your resin. And yeah, so now I'm just going to top coat these, make sure that I get the sides and everything's good and covered. I will hit this with my torch to get any bubbles. Again, cover it and leave it set for about 24 hours to cure. before coming back and pulling the tape off the back. Again, I will have all of my supplies that I used listed in the description below. Getting any of those micro bubbles that are still left in there. So here I'm just using this little plastic tool to get, I had a couple of air floaties, as I call them. I don't know, dust particles or something that fell in there. So I'm using that little plastic tool just to pick those out. Again, using my torch to pop any bubbles and then covering them up. So here it's been 24 hours later, and now I'm going to take the tape off the back. Very easy, it just peels right off of there. If you have trouble with the drips, all you need to do is use your heat gun to heat around the edges and they'll come right off of there. So once I get the tape off of all of these, I've decided to put on a felt backing on these. So I've just got some black felt that I am going to get cut out to fit my coaster. So I've just laid my coaster on there and using a pair of scissors to trim around and just making sure that I get a good fit on that. And then I'm going to use some Aleene's Tacky glue, and I'm just going to glue that felt on the bottom. So I'm going to put some of the glue on the coaster itself and then use my little silicone brush to kind of move it around to get good coverage around the whole coaster so that my felt will stay on. I will continue doing the others off camera. I will leave them set overnight just to make sure that that glue is good and dry. And then these will be ready to go. So I will have pictures here at the end of what the backs look like and then yeah, the fronts. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and leave me a comment. And until next time, see ya.